Alright, some more modern. We have Ricardo coming back for game 2 here, playing blue-black Asmor, Urza's Kitchen, whatever people want to call it. His opponent is Nigel. Now, Nigel, if you're watching, my apologies. I forgot how to spell your last name, and instead of butchering it, I decided to fix it this way. Yeah, we're gonna work on that. No worries. He is playing Izzet Blitz. Now, Izzet right now is in a bit of a weird spot. You have Izzet Blitz and Izzet Tempo. Blitz is still playing the prowess creatures in Monastery Swift Spear and Soulscar Mage. Usually some Stormwing entity as well. Aside from that, most of the deck looks the same. You got Mutagenic Growth. Just powering out more damage faster than the tempo variant, which wants to grind a little more. Again, apologies for the glare this evening. It's just this one light that's hanging over the table, and as soon as you forget to turn it off, this happens. Other than that, if it's off, the lighting here is perfect. But we'll make do. We saw Ricardo start off with a Mishra's Bauble and a fetch for a cookbook. I think that was a basic island. His life total would seem to agree, so we'll go with that. Now we have Nigel fetching for a basic mountain, 17. Also gonna play a bauble here, and swing in with the Monastery Swift Spear. Cookbook is going to discard Oval Chase Daredevil. Now, if you're not familiar with this deck, you play a Cookbook, which then can discard a card to make a food. The food is an artifact, so if you discard a Oval Chase Daredevil, it will go to the graveyard, then an artifact enters the battlefield, and you can add the Oval Chase Daredevil back to your hand. Normally, those kinds of shenanigans are reserved for a format like Vintage. I think I've seen some decks there that play Oval Chase Daredevil. It's not really a common thing, I think, even there, but with the Cookbook, that's definitely become a lot better. Now we have Pithing Needle coming out for Ricardo here, as well as a Urza Saga. The Pithing Needle. We unfortunately don't know what was named, but honestly, I don't think it really matters. He could go for Sculling Tarn, maybe try to get some fetch that Nigel ends up playing, but that is an Arid Mesa. The Blitz deck usually plays a bit of varied fetches, as well as just a bunch of islets and Spire Bluff Canals. So I'm not sure what Ricardo could actually even name in this position. I think it's mostly just to grow a potential construct coming out later down the line. Not that much later, but you know. Nigel gonna pop Ricardo here for 1, and not really doing anything as of yet. Second island for Ricardo here. Looks like he doesn't have any black mana at the moment, but doesn't look like he actually needs it unless he wants to start hard casting Daredevils, which is... It happens, you know, it's not impossible. That's for sure. But Nigel seems to be kind of holding off on actually pulling the trigger here. Maybe he wants to save a couple of pump spells in case Ricardo decides to chump with a a construct. I think that's what's happening here. Just try and set up for a bigger turn while still keeping your options open. I don't disagree with that. I think there's definitely a case to be made for that. Fiery Islet coming out. Now, both of these players are very good players. Like, these are both tournament grinders. Now, granted, thanks to COVID, everyone is a bit rusty. Now, if I recall, Ricardo has been playing a bunch of Arena the past months, but not that much Magic Online, which means no Modern, no Legacy. Nigel, I have no idea. Not a clue. Maybe he has still been playing, maybe he's only been playing Arena, or maybe he's just let it go completely. But both of these are players with a passive just grinding out tournaments. So they are pretty good players. This should be a pretty interesting match. We have Ricardo making a food as well as 2 constructs. Just getting the pressure on the board. Now, again, we have 2 constructs. We have a pithing needle. We have a cookbook, which is also an artifact. And we have 3 food. So we have 3, 4, 5, 7 artifacts on the field. Now, if Nigel is indeed holding off to try and get through a construct, I think he's going to need a lot here. He's going to need a lot. And unfortunately, for Nigel, Ricardo doesn't need that much. He has 2 constructs, which is 1 creature more than Nigel, which is pretty dangerous. And to make matters worse, this Urza Saga is now finding, I forget the name, Ether Spellbomb, which is potentially going to be able to bounce a creature of Nigel's back to his hand. In this case, looks like just the Swift Spear. Yeah, Nigel just keeping his Swift Spear to... Oh, he's keeping his Swift Spear because he doesn't want to attack, because he knows if he attacks, the construct just buries him. We have a construct attacking here for a lot. Nigel going to 7. Gonna crack the Fiery Islet, and I'm not sure what he could do here. Now, I know that that construct is tapped, but it's not actually tapped. It's just Ricardo only using one of his constructs, I think. That's not a proper board state, Rico. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it's regular. It's not competitive, so as long as both players agree on what's actually happening here. Soulscar Mage coming out. Yeah, I'm not sure what Nigel can do here. I think this is going to be a double chump. And a second, there's a saga coming out from Ricardo here. I think this is looking like game 2 here. Just an incredible start for Ricardo here. Incredible amount of pressure. Is that an Urza? That is an Urza. Absolutely. That's going to make a 3rd construct. A 3rd construct to just start burying Nigel here. And again, the constructs do not have haste, but there is one untapped. Yeah, I think that's it. Like, you have to block here. There are plenty of artifacts on the field here. One attack needs to get through and the game's over, and yeah, we go to game 2. Alright, for game 2, both players keeping their 7. Nigel starting us off on a Dragon's Rage Channeler. Yeah. Dragon's Rage challenger. Ricardo starting us off on a basic island again and a cookbook again. Like the blue-black Asmor deck seems to be getting a lot of turn 1 either Asmor or cookbook. It's definitely a very consistent deck in that regard, even if what it's doing is not always as powerful. Though turn 1 cookbook with a Oval Chase Daredevil in hand, that's pretty good. That's pretty good, especially against a deck like Blitz. Now we do see Emery coming out for Ricardo here. Nigel has double Dragon's Rage Channeler on the field, which can potentially be accelerated here into just being activated at the same time. We have Unholy Heat, gonna kill the Emery. We have 2 separate Surveil triggers, so that's not a Surveil 2, that's a Surveil 1 twice. That's a very important difference. But regardless, Nigel's able to just quickly dump a bunch of cards into his graveyard. The Mishra's Bauble is going to be the 4th card activating Delirium here. We have 2 1-mana 3/3s with flying on the field. And Ricardo is definitely feeling the pressure here. Is making a bunch of food, so he does have that. But, yeah, he's gonna need more than food to get through this. He's gonna need more than constructs to get through this, because these constructs, they do not fly, they do not have reach. Nigel is presenting a clock, and with a lightning bolt behind it, that is a very fast clock, potentially. We have a Street Race cycle, and I was thinking the Blitz deck is usually a very fast deck, but I wasn't expecting it to be quite this fast, because damn, this is fast. It looks like a Dark Slick Shores for Ricardo here, and a go. Nigel gonna lose 1 life off the islet and gonna cast Expressive Iteration, which means we surveil 1 twice first. That's Spell Piercer going to the graveyard. When the Expressive Iteration resolves, Nigel gets to look at the top 3 cards of his library. 1 goes to his hand, 1 goes into exile and can be played this turn, and the 3rd one is going to the bottom of his library. Looks like a Fiery Islet is the exile here. Didn't quite catch what the hand was, but there are just so many spells in Nigel's hand here, I think it doesn't even matter at this point. So, another attack for 6. Ricardo going to 5. A 3rd Dragon Race Chandler. And I think that means that even if Ricardo starts eating some food, I think there's just nothing you can do here. Yeah, he makes a construct. The construct doesn't do anything here. Doesn't block. Yeah, it blocks the Soulscar Mage. That's not the thing killing you right now. And I think that's going to game 3 here. Yep, it is. And it's kind of a stark contrast to last match, where we are now just barely 14 minutes into the video, and we're going into game 3. And last video, 14 minutes in, we were still playing game 1. So that's pretty much the difference between control and aggro. Let's see, we have a Mishra's Bauble and a Sculling Tarn coming out for Ricardo here. And that's a pretty interesting turn one. Usually it does that kind of hand does other. Oh no! Wait, no. Wait. Is this already turn two? Nigel's already played his mate. Wait. Oh, right. They're shortcutting a lot here. Okay, so Ricardo, turn one, played a cookbook and a bauble while he was finding the land. He still had the cookbook in hand, but he did already kind of announce he played it. Decides to bauble Nigel during Nigel's end step. No. Cookbook. Wait, did the cookbook discard the sculling turn? No. Okay, I'm not sure what happened. Like, that is that is too much shortcutting for me. Did he reveal a Daredevil? Is that what is happening here? Regardless, he is going to 16. And does... Yeah, he has a Daredevil hand, so I think the first cookbook discarded Daredevil, which allows him to play Asmor. That's this food. Ricardo putting down his life total for us. He one lower than I thought? Yeah, he's one lower than I thought. Alright. No, he isn't. He is at 15, damn it. Okay, so yeah, a bit of shortcutting here from Ricardo, but it all checks out in the end. He has two cookbooks going with a Asmor. He sacrifices 2 food to kill a Soulscar Mage. Now, Unholy Heat into Lava Dart is going to get rid of the Asmor. Mishra's Bauble coming out. Going to look at the top card of Ricardo's deck. And that's going to be turn. Looks like Nigel is now out of creatures. Maybe that's a Stormwing entity he's holding. I think it is. That'll have to wait a turn. And... well, he did manage to get rid of the Asmor. That is definitely a good thing. Because an Asmor with 2 cookbooks and the Novel Chase Daredevil, that's scary. that is scary. That means you're killing a creature every turn against a deck that plays 16 creatures, and they all pretty much die to themselves at that point. And then killing a creature once a turn, yeah, that's too much. Like, you have to get rid of the Asmor before you can do anything in that situation. So, crisis averted for now, but could potentially become a problem again in the future. But we'll have to wait and see. Metamorphose coming out for Nigel here. We have an Engineered Explosives on 2 for Ricardo here. Make a bunch more food. The Metamorphose mana actually just leaving the pool. Okay, didn't quite catch what that was. I think it's a... was that a 3rd cookbook? It's looking like it. It is looking like it. Again, my apologies for the glare. It's nothing I can there's nothing I can do about it at this point. But it looks like this game isn't going to last much longer. It seems Ricardo's starting to eat some food. He hungry. He hangry. 22? Oh, 22. Yeah, 22. Bunch of food. It's got an engineered explosives. I think this is looking pretty favored for Ricardo here. Unless Nigel somehow finds just the most incredible threat you could possibly imagine. But, or, you know, Ricardo just doesn't draw anything for, I don't know, 8 turns or something. Because even if Ricardo just doesn't draw anything for a couple turns, then I think he's pretty safe at this point. He has so much food. He has mana. He's just double fetching. Throw a shock in there. Just it doesn't matter, really. Butterfingers here. Gonna throw his Urza to the floor. in the dirt. Where it belongs now. Yeah, Urza coming out, and then this game is just done. Like, what Nigel needed was Ricardo just not doing anything for a couple turns. And Urza now coming down means that Ricardo can use his food to start rolling the dice, not literally, but just seeing if he can play a couple extra cards every turn. And pretty sure there's nothing that he can do at this point. Didn't quite catch what that draw was. That play off Urza. Maybe someone is paying more attention than me saw. But regardless, that's a big construct. Metallic Rebuke off an Urza activation is not what you want to be seeing here. There's an Asmor on the field. Oh boy. Yeah, of course. Because Asmor you could just cast off the Urza. Yeah. Wow. Okay, that's a clock. This is happening. Ladies and gentlemen, this is happening. We are full force on the food deck. Okay, maybe not full force. The Asmor is getting lightning bolted, but that is still construct coming at you. Unholy Heat. Gonna take care of Urza here. I'm pretty sure Nigel does have Delirium, so there's plenty of cards in that graveyard. Metamorphose, just trying to find something. Swiss Bear. It's something. Not what you want to be seeing here. But it's definitely something, and that's gonna be another 2-1 for Ricardo here.